If you can overcome this challenge I'm going to talk to you guys about today, then you can overcome anything in life. So recently, there have been a lot of changes and a lot of tests in my faith that truly have pushed me to my limits. And there are days where I question, how much more can I take? There are days where I question, why me? And then I realize at the end of the day, we're put in situations and we make decisions. I made decisions that got me to where I am today, good or bad, and now I have to deal with the consequences. And the only way that it's going to improve, the only way it's going to change is if I double down. Now, when it comes to making content, that is what I want to be doing. When it comes to making videos, being able to do certain things, that is my dream. But I realize the reason why I've waited on putting on a long format video for a few days is I've been really trying to think, what is something that's going to be extremely productive? My YouTube journey has been a wild one. If you've followed me from the beginning in December when I had 0 subscribers, all the way to now where I have over 1,000, it's been a very interesting ride. And I would be lying to you if I said it's all been rainbows and sunshine. I would be dishonest if I were to say I'm a perfect person. I've come a long way from who I was, made a lot of decisions that I'm not proud of. And as my past has come to light for myself, in the sense of me realizing that's not who I am or how I want to be, it's changed me in ways that I never really thought possible. I'll give you some examples. One, when I used to deal with frustration or something or someone that irritated me, I'd always walk away. There was never a day where I'd stick around. If I was upset, that's it. It's a done deal. Why was I like that? Simply because I never wanted to deal with anything that made my life stressful, anyone who I felt wasn't worthy of my time, or the situation that I felt that didn't deserve it. Now I've learned that not everybody's perfect, right? And if that's gonna be my mindset, it's gonna be a problem. Mainly because it pushes away me learning how to deal with things in life. But at the same time, there's nothing wrong with that. You decide what you're willing to put up with. You decide who you're willing to put up with. And if the answer is something that you didn't expect, ask yourself why. For so many years, I used to question, what am I doing? What do I want to do? I ask myself that all the time, from the time that basically I was as young as I can remember. And if I'm being honest, I've always struggled, whether it's financially, whether it's emotionally, whether it's a lot of different things. And there's never really been a clear-cut answer, right? And I realized it's not my mom's fault. It's not anybody else's fault but my own, right? My mom never really did anything wrong. She gave everything she could to give me a best example, to push me to be a better son, to be a better man. And it was just of my own mistakes that really led me to where I am today. There's nobody to blame, nobody at fault. It's not in the shame in how she raised me. It's not in why she's upset. It's simply just because I realized that in order for me, of all people, to be good, I have to learn to just move on, to move past my obstacles, to stop dwelling in the present stress that I have and look forward to planning a brighter future. Start building a plan to get out of where I'm at and take it seriously. Not just some days, not just whenever I feel like it, not just when I think that there's something or someone out there that can benefit from me sharing something, but every single day I show up. Every single day I push myself so much harder, but I realize I can do better. YouTube is an opportunity and a platform I want to be able to take advantage of fully, but in the best way. I want to be able to grow on YouTube so I can be able to make videos, make content, and help others. To be able to speak to some of you all, because I know what it's like to really struggle. There were some times where I didn't know how I was going to make rent. There were other times where I didn't know how I was going to take care of my daughter or my mother. There were times where I didn't know how I was going to get their medication, how I was going to do a lot of things. And if I'm still being honest, those times are still happening. There are still some days where I'm struggling with who I am as a person, with how I'm going to figure this out, with what I'm going to do. Now, you don't have to be a parent. That's like an extreme, right? But once you get to a certain age and you have to figure out life on your own, you're not handed everything anymore. I was never handed anything. I always had to fight for every little inch that I have. And you know what? I'm grateful for that. It taught me a lot about my character. It taught me that I will always fight. It taught me that I will never give up, lay down, or complain that things are too hard. But it also made me realize that lately I haven't been doing the best that I could be doing. I know that I could genuinely be pushing myself a lot harder, and things would probably be a lot better. Now, when it comes to making videos and making this account grow, it hasn't been easy for me. And the main two reasons are, one, I get so frustrated and so desperate and so in my own thoughts that it makes me want to give up. It makes me want to not keep trying, but I keep showing up. YouTube is my dream, to be able to grow, to be able to develop on this platform and keep going. Everyone in all these videos that I've seen with posting your content or just post your content, right? And I keep thinking to myself, okay, do I follow a guru or try to buy a course? And then I realize I've bought a lot of courses in the past. And the only thing they've taught me is people make their money off of selling courses. They haven't taught me anything about how to grow or how to do anything. It's all common knowledge if you Google how to grow. It's all the same thing. All I did is put it in a PDF and sold it to you for $30, $40, sometimes $100, sometimes a lot more. And I realized instead of being taken advantage of, if I were to use that money to reinvest into myself, reinvest into my health, reinvest into certain things, so when I show up on camera, I don't look like I'm dying. I don't feel like I'm like 97 and withering away. All jokes aside, my friends, you have to decide your own path. Nobody else can tell you what to do, but they can give you suggestions. Nobody else is gonna hold your hand or walk through this thing called life, but I'll pray for you. I pray to be along in your journey as long as you want me around. I pray that whatever your struggle is, you don't feel alone. I pray that you understand what it is you're worth. No matter the obstacles, no matter the challenges you face, you need to know somebody cares about you. You need to know that you're worth more than you deem or give yourself credit for. So I pray whatever's stopping you from healing, you take a minute. And if the answer is you, my brothers and sisters out there, I pray you can get past it. Let go of your past. Let go of that hurt. You don't need to forget. You don't have to pretend it didn't happen. Whatever your situation is, whatever your struggle is, simply understand you are who you are today because of what happened. Now it's your decision. Will you keep pushing? Will you do better? Will you want to do better? Or is this where you lay down and give up? Is this your end? Do you really want this to be where everything comes to a halt? No one else can answer that but you. You know, I used to think that I had all the answers to every question. I used to think that I was so smart when it came down to this thing called life and just figuring out challenges and trying to do better. But what I really realized is when it came down to YouTube videos, it humbled me, because now I'm having to talk, I'm having to be on camera, I'm having to do things that I don't know if I'm that great at, right? I love sharing different parts of my days and doing different things, but there are times where I come in my car a lot lately, especially, and I just kind of try to think, what am I gonna do? A lot of times at night where I just sit in here and I'm like, wow, like, how am I gonna figure this out? When the full weight of the world is on your back, you don't have the luxury to be sad or upset over little things. Like, say if you were in a relationship and you got upset because your partner didn't text you back fast enough. When you got the weight of trying to raise your family, trying to take care of your family, trying to be able to provide a life that they all deserve, including your partner, that is not a situation where you really think that hard of. You're just simply trying to survive. If you're trying to take care of your family and you feel like you don't know what to do, you're not alone. You can't give up though. You need to start sitting down, figuring out what it's going to take. And if it means you work for a temp agency, if it means you give yourself that push you didn't want to do, that means you got to go back to a job you maybe hate to be able to make it work for now, then do it. But keyword is for now. It's not a forever thing. You don't go back or take 2 steps back and stay where you're at. If you take 2 steps back, you better be prepared for the last 2 steps back you ever take in your life. That is a mistake and a lesson I had to learn to teach myself. When I used to take steps back and think, you know what, it's gonna be okay, I'll figure this out eventually, as long as I keep pushing myself, something will add up. Not realizing all those times that I kept saying, tomorrow, tomorrow, tomorrow. Tomorrow never really came. The only person I have to blame for my failures or where I'm at is myself. And when I realized, it hit home. It hurt. Because so many years I would blame others. So many times I'd be upset with the person that has it all. The kid whose parents give them all this money. The kid that was popular. The kids that had everything. And I had a lot of malice in my heart. And then I realized, it doesn't matter. I don't want to be that kid that's handed everything. I don't want to be the man that grows up never knowing what it's like to work. You know what? I'm grateful that I had a struggle. I'm grateful that I fight and that I claw for every dollar, every experience, every memory, everything that I have in my life. But I realize as I'm getting older, I want to be able to have time for the things that matter. Not just going in, clocking in, working my 9 to 5 and hoping it's enough to pay the bills when it's really not. And then hoping if they want me to work an extra hour so I can be able to have enough gas, be able to hopefully do something on the weekend or go somewhere. It's humiliating to admit, when you get to an age where you realize how expensive things are and how much you have to provide, there is no peace, there's no calm. But you know what I realized? In those moments are when you truly need to value what makes you happy. And in my case, it's my family. It's my loved ones. It's the simple moments that I get. Whether it's being able to sit inside a car, being able to wash my face, being able to shower, being able to do the simplest of things. I have to say thank you, Father. My subscribers out there, I'm grateful for each and every one of you. I want to be able to inspire you all so you know that wherever you're at, whether it's a YouTube journey, whether it's a TikTok journey, whether it's a doctor career, a lawyer, say you're just struggling with your family, say you don't know what you want to do for your job, say you're trying to ask your boss for a raise, whatever the case is, I want to be able to show you and empower you to be able to push yourself past your scared limits, to be able to push yourself in a way that you haven't before, because you deserve better than what you have today. But the only person that's going to fight for that has to be you. The only person that's going to want that has to be you. Because if you don't, how do you expect others to? My brothers and sisters out there, I only pray for your success. I pray for your happiness. And above all, I pray that whatever you are going through in life, that you don't talk to about anybody else but God, that He heals you and allows you to be strong enough to complete and stay for the path He has designed for you. Thank you for being here today, my friends. Don't give up on whatever journey you're on. Keep pushing. I'll be rooting for you and praying for you. Hope to see you soon with some great news. Have a great day, and thank you for showing up today, my friend.